Alright, hello everyone. I'm kind of late to this, but well, better late than never. Hey, so we're gonna cover this broadly conservative guy. I can't remember his name. Gavin McInnes? McInnes. Yeah, I guess so. And he hosts this show called Censored TV. It's your average like boomer conservative. Oh my goodness, I've been censored for being too based. But as we can see today, they're not really conservative or right-wing or based because they hate anime. It's conservatives hating on anime again. I just wanted to read this here. So Gavin McInnes, Comedy Network. These are the links they don't want you to click. So apparently it's supposed to be comedic. It's supposed to be funny, I guess. Oh, well, let's take a look at what he has to say. So, yeah.
You know this Zoomer culture thing of the, I'm a cute, I just want you to know that if you're into anime, you're a pet. To be clear, if you watch those cartoons...
Oh, all right. All right, that was pretty funny, not gonna lie. All right, let's continue.
Cartoons, if you read those comics, if your avatar is remotely associated with any kind of Japanese animation, you're a pedophile, you're a pervert, you're infantilized, you're sick and depraved. And I notice you talk a big game. A lot of the wingnats use anime avatars, and they're always how I'm a and they're gonna kick my ass. You're all weak, loser, incel, virgin.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm gonna say like these are this is the beautiful thing about the anime right. I think I'm just gonna refer to like right-wing Twitter as the anime right, because I think it's really cool that we have like this subsection of the right-wing community in which we're all pretty right-wing. We all say a lot of based things. Most of us are Christian as well, and we all have anime profile pictures. And as we scroll down here, we've got all the anime profile pictures in here as well. So this sort of slander from boomer conservatives is just not helpful, and I don't like it. I dislike it. I am covering it so that you guys know, because this guy's not on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, because they were censored. Oh, they've been censored. Boohoo. It is tiring. I need to articulate my thoughts a bit more, but yeah, like the strange thing is that anime does produce a lot of, it's far more conservative than whatever trash the West is producing today. And I think the faster that boomers accept that anime is actually really based and not like whatever this guy's about to say, the better that society will be, because this is the whole reason why I've created this channel, right? It's the Christian Anime Podcast, and it's because it's to represent those Christians and to represent the right wing, in which we're way more right wing than you boomers could ever be. And we're far more based than you guys could ever be. It's just that we also enjoy anime. And the reason why we enjoy anime is because so many of the themes present in anime are so well aligned with right-wing ideas. Like things like Spy Family, right? It's a very, you would not see something like Spy Family being created by the West today. And it's because like there is this anti-natalist, anti-child, anti-family propaganda which is permeating through Western society. And at the end, I'm gonna show you what these guys would be supporting in the first place. And I know I'm strawmanning, but the so-called conservative alternative ain't any better.
Because these gestures that come from Japan are the gestures of a child. Look at her cartoony sweatshirt.
All right, okay. So not gonna lie, the thing that he's just shown here, that is pretty cringe, not gonna lie. But is it from anime? Yeah, I guess so, you could say that. But like it's cherry picking. It's cherry picking bits and pieces like, oh, look how cringe it is, and look how the cringe Gen Z is acting. I mean, yeah, it is cringe, but it ain't all anime. There is also a value in moe anime, right? I have not done a video on K-On! I will do a video on K-On! Pretty soon, but the reason why moe anime and like cute slice of life stuff, I'll lump in like Licorice Recall in there as well because it's cute. The reason why it's still conservative is because it is a conservation of what is beautiful and what is cute and what is feminine, right? It can produce stuff which is cringe like this, but at the same time, there is a purpose for moe anime, and there is a reason why moe anime is good and popular among a lot of right-wingers, and why there's a lot of, in the right-wing anti-Twitter space, there's a lot of K-On! Profile pictures, and it's because it's cute, right? It is the preservation of beauty in a world in which the left and the Marxists and the communists so want to desperately destroy it. So that's why K-On!'s cute, and I do stand by cute anime girls as well.
She's acting like a 3-year-old, and they're talking about this comes from Japanese cartoons, and the Japanese cartoons are trying to be cute, so they mimic 4-year-old.
Oh my goodness, this is just so this is basically this guy's thesis. Look how close-minded and just like how generalized and how cherry-picking this guy is, because this guy's basically talking about a certain subsection of anime, which is not necessarily representative of all. Like this is the same thing as saying, oh look, I watched a Western pornographic video. That means all videos throughout the internet are all pornographic, and they should not be watched by anyone because that's the same level of which this guy is saying, oh, all ecchi and hentai anime are like, oh my goodness, I have watched this certain subsection of anime, and that means all anime, no matter if it's shonen or slice of life, they're all bad and degenerate. Like it's the same sort of reasoning, and it's just not helpful. I
hate Japanese animation. Suck. I hate the little sharp triangle noses. It's the thing that bugs me the most.
thin lines and like it just nothing looks solid. It looks weightless.
Yeah. It's thin, wiry frames.
Right. I just can never do it. Dragon Ball Z was the closest I got, and they have thick lines. So I guess maybe that is my big problem.
I hate their explosions and the lines and everything. But you want to see the brilliant cartoons. This is a subject that doesn't go well.
All right, okay. This guy's just gonna say, "Oh, you want to see brilliant cartoons? We're gonna. I sure hope they're brilliant cartoons." And I'm just gonna editing podcasts on. We'll be editing in some of the best animated stuff that I've just seen recently. Right. That's going to be playing like in the background while we're gonna look at these brilliant cartoons that he's about to make. That he's about to shill for.
But people don't understand that I can hate superhero comics and not want you to read them, but I can also appreciate graphic novels and the incredible art behind them. That's a very tough sell.
Incredible art behind them. Let's see this incredible art. Hey,
I understand. You don't come from where I come from. In Montreal, bande dessinée, being a cartoonist was like being in a band. Like we would meet and make this sort of head charge of comics in Montreal.
All right, I want to say as well, for a so-called conservative guy, I'm just going to call this guy like broadly boomer conservative, but he's swearing a lot. And I know some of you guys swear as well, but it is something that we are called to as Christians, that we should be holding our tongue. We should be aware of the things that we are saying, because everything that comes out of our mouths should be holy and uplifting. And we should be living our lives as living sacrifices. And that's the reason why I don't swear, right? But basically, like, that's the reason why we shouldn't swear. And it's because all of our speech should be holy and uplifting and all of these things, right? My point being is that for a guy that is supposedly conservative, he's swearing an awful lot. So
just put out this graphic novel that is the best thing I've ever read. And it's called Are You Willing to Die for the Cause?
The best thing ever made, guys.
We laughed at him when he started doing his own comics. He sucked. So he quit. He sold the publisher and he totally focused on becoming
the best thing ever. Is this truly the best? Again, editing podcast, we'll put up like the anime clips side by side. And you'll see what the best thing ever made. Look, thick lines, guys. Thick lines compared to all the thin lines from anime. Oh my goodness.
A good cartoonist. And now he's one of the best. Do you see what I'm talking about, the lines? Like, look how thick they are and the amount of black he
Look how thick they are, guys. Oh my goodness.
uses. And it's every frame is very substantial. I saved this for weeks because I knew once I read it, it's gone, right? It was like money. So I would only read it if I was like sober as a judge and in a good mood and had a big dinner. I'd only read a few pages at a time.
I swear this guy's just absolutely trolling. He might just be trolling. And it's all just a joke, and it's really funny. But so again, the central claim: if you watch anime, you are that word, right? It's the throwing around of this word, which, because I would lean on the fact that if you do watch, even if it's fictional, right? That if you do have these urges towards a young person or a minor, and even if it is fictional, you should actively go seek help, because you are putting yourself in a very dangerous situation if you're engaging in these desires, and if you're fantasizing over it, you're still putting yourself in a very dangerous spot. These are temptations, right? You're not actively engaging in this particular sin, but you are still putting yourself in a very dangerous spot if you are actively fantasizing over these desires. But at the same time, I can appreciate that it's not, right? And a lot of anime it's not this word. It's not this particular crime. It's not this particular thing. It's a watering down of the word, which it's the same thing as racist, right? Or if it's the same thing as sexist, right? Or bigot, right? These words actually mean something. But when you keep throwing them around, or national socialist, right? When you call someone a national socialist, these words have proper meanings. And these words are very, very heavily loaded words. And if you keep throwing them about like this word, it will eventually mean nothing. And the real people who do engage in this particular crime, we're not going to live in a world which is a better place, because these words have been so watered down that they can't be actually used accurately to describe someone. So very unfortunate. The boomer conservative, once again, hating on anime. They did say, rate this community note as unhelpful as well. And community notes, here again, asking your followers to rate a correct community note as unhelpful is considered platform manipulation and against X's rules. So I do want to highlight 2 quote retweets, which Rock Solid actually has it pretty right, which is right-wing creators really need to stop alienating 80% of audiences. You ain't right-wing if you don't like anime. And I absolutely echo that. Like, a lot of these creators online, right? You are catering to an audience, for a very young audience, or most of which will have probably liked anime. And we do, as young people, enjoy anime because we have grown up with it. We have been exposed to it. And there are reasons why we so deeply appreciate it. Like Violet Evergarden, I so deeply appreciate it. It's because it's a beautiful anime in which where this girl is trying to find emotions and trying to find meaning and purpose after having been so dependent on someone for so long, after having been thrown away as in the aftermath of such a deadly war in which her only purpose was to fight. So I'm going to bring up Whisper of the Heart, which a video is coming on that pretty soon, where this beautiful, beautiful story in which a young girl is trying to find meaning and purpose in her life, and she's growing up, and it's so deeply relatable and so deeply impacted me as a young teenager as well. So yeah, it is unfortunate that boomer conservatives, they don't understand us. It's such a shame. But if these right-wing creators, if these conservative creators actually, online creators actually recognize that there is good that comes from video games, there is good that comes from anime as well, then we'd be living in a much more peaceful world, and we'd be able to better minister to these people as well. And this is my main problem as well, which is these are the conservative incorporated, or like big big conservative, if they keep pushing this narrative that you can't be conservative if you watch anime, or even worse, which is you can't be Christian if you watch anime, right? It is such a harm to our witness. It does such a great disservice to our witness and also to our outreach when we say these sorts of things, that people will not become conservative if you if you keep parroting the same claim, and people won't become like Christian if you keep parroting this claim. And that's why this channel matters. This is why I've made this channel, and it's to be that like Christian conservative voice to say that yes, you can appreciate anime as well, and you can also be a conservative, and you can also follow Jesus, and you can also be a Christian. That is the purpose of this channel, and I'm so grateful that God's given me this platform as well, and to cover like rubbish like this. It's so, I'm truly humbled by you guys who also watch these videos, because it's unfortunate. Legal mindset, oh my goodness, look at this. These bad takes are exactly why the right keeps losing, especially younger people. Yeah, and that's true. Anime is as diverse as Hollywood or fiction literature in terms of genres, target market, and message. I have met very many people who are Christians and wholesome, normal family people who happen to prefer shonen over new Star Wars, and the only one to blame for that is Western media for producing absolute trash. And this guy, like, it's really cool, isn't it? That he recognizes that for a lot of people who grew up with anime, like, the reason why we flock to anime and we flock to Japan is because Japan has been this, like, bastion of normalcy over the past 20 years, to the point that they aren't producing trash like the West has for the past 10 years, in which it is all just slop. It is all consumer slop. But with anime, it's not necessarily the case, is it? We've got so many Christian anime shows. I'll list off the top of my head, like Bocce the Rock, or Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, or Spy Family, right? So all of these anime, right? They have, it's not only the cuteness of it, but it's a preservation of what is normal. And that's why it's good. And that's why we're attracted to it compared to like what the West is producing. And let me remind you what the West is producing, and what conservatives are producing as well. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to bring up Mr. Bertram, because this guy would absolutely say, "Oh my goodness, look at this really high art. Look how beautiful this is." No, it's not. No, it's not. So we're going to take a look at this clip as well, because it's just so cringe. He's doubled down in this clip. He's doubled down.
Were you preparing something?
Oh, there's just a lot of people that hate. And you know what it is? You upset a completely different community from people that watch the show.
Yeah, because I read all the letters. There was no one. We didn't get any enemy complainers from the Baby Monsters.
You know the rules, and so do I. Anime is for pedos. Anti-Trump journalists arrested for sex crimes. Yeah, nobody. We're not anti-Trump. Is that confused? Children's rights activists. Yeah, we're not that either.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who bitch about pedophilia and being pedophiles. But you know what? I've also noticed a big pattern of people going, "Oh yeah, you're really worried about pedophiles? Look at these losers."
Believe it or not, this anime profile picture person says this is so corny.
Like, imagine being an adult and watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Wait, go back to that one there. They shouldn't need to be compared, but since you're so damn, and then they show something that's not even remotely comparable.
Willing to die for the cause.
That's good. That's not.
Yeah, I don't like the
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness.
look of it. I don't know about the pedo thing, but I definitely don't like the look of it. And a lot of it is like
cute and funny.
that. Is
Random America making faces? Is anime? No. Yes, it is. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about too.
Reset the clock, I guess, because they hear that a lot. When you people learn, I guess the same thing. This guy just takes the good old stars and bars.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I pissed off that community. I hate them all.
Why are we catching strays? What do we do to deserve this? But exist and enjoy our hobby. Oh,
I love when they call it a hobby.
Now I feel bad.
My hobby is sitting on my at something.
I've got a lot of good follows and followers that have the anime thing. I just don't get it.
No, it's worse than don't get it. It's infantilized perverts who don't know how to.
I don't think we're Con Inc.
All right, cool. Yeah, that absolutely sums up my feelings on this. So yeah, it's a tough battle being in the anime, right? And it's a tough battle being a Christian as well, and also watching anime. But this is one of the reasons why I started this channel, and it's because I got sick and tired of conservatives also who should be supporting anime because of all a lot of conservative values in a lot of anime, and a lot of popular anime as well. It is so destructive to one's witness and so destructive to one's outreach when you absolutely demonize a particular, or you just paint a particular side of the internet as like this is another thing about conservatives, in which it would be prudent not to paint people as, oh, you're from that side and that means I can never be friends with you. Because like when I go to my church, right, it's unfortunate that there are also a lot of people who call themselves feminists, or there are people who are more left-wing socially or more left-wing economically as well. But at the same time, I can appreciate them because we have a commonality in Christ, and we have a commonality in our Christian values, in which we are actually, like, I can appreciate someone who's more economically left-wing, because even though they believe in bigger government, like they're like this is why, like, Christian Democrats from the European Christian Democrats, I should say, I can appreciate them because like they actually do care about poor people, and they do have a heart for people who are vulnerable, and that's why they advocate for large welfare, and that's why they advocate for big spending. And I may disagree with that, right? But I won't call them like unchristian, right? Even though, like, personally, I am more economically right wing, right? I'm pro-capitalism, right? And even for people who are more like socially left-wing, right? I can still appreciate when they're like, oh, I recognize that the Bible says this, and that's as far as my social liberalism goes. And that's okay with me. I can tolerate that because, again, our commonality is in Christ. So I think for all of us Christians who are watching this, this is a lesson that we can take, in which, in order to be better in our witness and in order to be better in our outreach to people who are lost, to people who aren't saved yet, to people who don't know Jesus yet, we can do a lot in ourselves when we humble ourselves, right? When we try to understand other people, right? And when we try to understand other people and we work to understand other people and we work to make all of these connections with people who are different to us, whether it be politically, economically, or just socially on every other level, when we make an effort to do that, our witness is so much more powerful when Jesus works through us, when the Holy Spirit works through us. We can relate on their level and be better able to share the gospel with them. And through that, they can be saved. So that's my message to you. That's kind of the reason why this is so cringe when boomer cons are like, oh my goodness, anime for pedos. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Because yeah, it's harmful to outreach, and especially to young people. Like, you wonder why young people ain't attracted to the church, or you wonder why young people aren't attracted to conservatism. It's because of cringe like this. So boomer cons, it's so over. It's just so over for you. But for all of us on this community, go now and share this video to someone who might enjoy all of these Twitter shenanigans. And with that, I hope you all have a lovely rest of your days.